Ta-da!
Hi everybody, it's Saturday video number 30. 3-0. We should be having a margarita or something to celebrate.
I remember when I was 30.
I remember when you were 30.
It wasn't all that long ago.
We weren't married on your 30th birthday, but shortly after. In fact, you hadn't even proposed then. He proposed a few months later, didn't you?
Really?
Because I bullied him into it. Today we are talking about bullying. That's going to be like our main theme today, because this week it was National Say No to Bullying Day in Australia, which I thought was fantastic. We had to wear orange, which was very easy for me, and today I'm wearing an orange necklace. For that exact, have you got any orange on? Not really. You're next to me, that'll do. Anyway, so it's a really big thing, this whole bullying issue, and it seems to be getting worse and worse with, you know, social media, doesn't it?
Social media is just the conduit of people being able to extend what they're already doing.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Yeah,
you know,
good point.
people, there's bullying in the workplace, there's bullying, you know, at schools, there's bullying in the home. But that's a different word for that. Bullying in the home is called
domestic
violence
or something.
Yeah.
But you know what a girlfriend said to me today when I was saying we were doing this video? She said that before, bullying at school was just, you know, you go to school and then you come home and you get respite from it. But now kids come home and they find that, you know, they're on Facebook and they have like all these disgusting things.
Well, the social media has just provided a conduit for extra bullying. So
yes. So this created a lot of questions from you guys this week. So we can probably go through it and offer our opinions as we go rather than just going bang. What do you think?
Always got an opinion. We
do always have an opinion. Hey, I went to Taylor Swift this week. And she's very anti-bullying, and if you wait for the very end of this video, you will see a very special little film clip at the end.
Me with Taylor.
Me filming her as she walked right past me. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know whether to take photos, do videos, but I thought of you guys and did a video.
Didn't she stop and say hi, Jewelchic?
She did. I watch your videos all the time.
That would have to be one of the few events that you've been to lately where someone hasn't said, hey, Jewelchic!
We were in this amazing, oh no, I had a few of those, but we were in this amazing mosh pit thing, which was right next to the stage. Zoe and I had no idea that was happening. But
Thanks, Michelle.
Yeah, thank you, Michelle. It was awesome. Oh my God. And it wasn't even crushed. It was quite comfortable. You could kind of move around, and it was
really the non-crushed mosh pit.
It's like the red carpet mosh pit. It was sensational. God, I didn't know there was such a thing. Okay, here we go. Anastasia said, "Were you ever bullied in school?"
No.
Weren't you?
No, I don't think I was, because...
were you a bully?
No, I wasn't a bully, but if someone...
I remember a stage you were.
Yeah, I was actually...
tell that story.
Okay, yes.
And then tell what happened, but don't say names, obviously.
No, I won't say names.
It
was at senior school, I was thinking bullying being young school, primary school, junior school. But in my last few years of school, yeah, I was bullied, and there were a few thugs at school, and I remember one day the guy punched me right in the jaw, and I thought, oh,
why?
gee.
What did he do that for? He
no,
didn't just
no
come
reason.
up and go punch,
Oh,
did he?
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because they're always looking for trouble.
I'm so glad I'm not a boy.
They're always looking for trouble, and that's how they evoked, you know, that's how they provoked, that's how they got a response. Anyway, I turned around and backed away because I wasn't
You didn't punch him back?
I would have lost.
Okay.
At least I knew.
Honest, yeah.
I knew my limits, and because see, he had 3 or 4 with him, and so immediately there would have been a fight. Then it would have been on for young and all, and it would have been 5 against 1.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was very interesting because 5 or 6 years later.
No more.
Well, it might have been 10, 15 years later. It
was when your business was up and running.
Anyway, he would have forgotten all about that at school, punched me in the face, not think anything of it, because that's what he did every day, and to him it was just another whack.
Yeah, another person.
To me, I'd never been whacked like that. Anyway, I remembered it, and wouldn't you believe it, he came for a job interview. And I thought...
Did he get the job?
I thought, hang on, I just thought, what goes around comes around. So I gave him the satisfaction of an interview, and I was very nice at the interview.
Did he remember you from school? Did he say, oh, I went to school with you?
Yeah, but not a word of that day down the front when I punch you in the face and nearly broke your jaw. But
it would have felt so good though. Did it feel really good to say no?
But I didn't say no. I didn't say anything. I just gave him the run around and just very politely.
He came home and told me it was great.
And I knew when he first rang, you know, can I have a job? I knew.
You keep talking, I'm just going to
I knew he was not going to get a job. However, that was really a little bit of self-gratification, as it were, and he never got the job. Anyway...
I reckon that is the best story. I was never actually technically bullied.
He rang me the other day now, he's a builder.
What, again?
That's all right.
The same bloke.
That's all right, I might have the pleasure of selling him something. I don't mind.
He might be watching our Saturday video.
Do you know what? If I do, then I'll bank the money and I'll buy you a present.
Sounds good to me. Hey, but at school I was never bullied as such, but I do remember times we used to have these big trees where I went to school, and we used to make little cubby houses out of sticks and everything at playtime, at lunchtime and everything. And I remember being in grade 5 and 6, and I'd had to take, I don't know, a week off from school, you know, because I was sick for some reason. And I came back, and I remember, because, you know, I went to a girls' school, so that's...
You'd lost your place in the tree.
Well, yes, there was no cubby house. They destroyed the cubby house while I'd been gone, and nobody was talking to me. Like, there was no reason for it. And that is such an isolating, horrible feeling. It really is. It is. I remember that feeling. And when you don't even know why, and you're like, what's that about?
I remember in junior school, if someone ever tried to come up to me and start to push me around, I'd just push them straight back, because you create boundaries, don't you?
Yeah,
you know,
true.
Acceptable behaviour and boundaries.
Yeah.
And younger, it wasn't about, you know, punch in the face.
Yeah.
You know, it might have been a kick in the shins or a bit of a pinch or something like that. But you sort of peg your own territory, and you don't tolerate certain behaviour.
Yeah. Okay. Irene said she hasn't watched last week's video, so she's probably doing that right now. That's funny. But she has said, as she's a teacher in Greece. And she said she's dealing with that all the time, with bullying.
Worldwide.
Yeah, it is. It's terrible. Adele says, given the day that it's in it, have you been to St Patrick's Day parade?
No, but I went for a walk this afternoon, and I was walking down Chapel Street, and I walked past one of the Irish pubs. It was pumping.
Was it green? Was everyone
Well, they all had
green?
big tall hats with St Patrick's Day in green.
I could have videoed
that. And they
that.
put a marquee on the... Look, it'll be going till midnight, let me tell you. And knowing the Irish... They'll probably still be going after midnight.
Did it look like fun if we were 20?
If you were 20?
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
I don't want to do that. So I'm
you
not
want
really
to go
doing
and drink until you got booze coming out your ears.
So happy St Patrick's Day to all my Irish friends out there.
Was that Irish? I thought that was Scottish when you started.
Look, I've never claimed to be an actress or good at accents.
You reckon you're good at Russian?
I'm good at the Russian. I am good at the Russian accent.
I could say something, but I won't.
No, don't. Okay. Jim says, I have a friend who is 70 years old and he fits all the data for being a bully. That's so funny. He's also bipolar. See, that's a whole nother thing though, isn't it really? He bullies me so much that I do not even answer the phone anymore. I've known him for 50 years and his problems started either when his wife left him or perhaps after his heart attack. Maybe his wife left him and he had a heart attack because he's a bully. Yeah. Maybe. Perhaps evil spirits took over his body. Some people are just mean.
Let me tell you, there are a lot of people in business who are bullies. They're thugs. And a lot of people in business, in fact, recognise that they're bullies and thugs, and so they get other people to be the toe cutter and the thug.
Yeah.
And they are the nice guy. And it is not uncommon. However, you would have to say that that guy's wife probably, I don't know the situation, left because people don't change. What's that saying? You say if someone shows you who they are when you first meet, what's the saying?
That's Oprah saying, when people show you who they are the first time, believe them.
So that guy, I don't know how long he was married, but you know, what if he's bullied you? He's probably bullied his wife. He's probably bullied his whole workforce. He's probably bullied his kids. He's probably just the perfect definition of a bully. So the guy's lost his wife, or she's nicked off, and now he's had a heart attack. He'll probably start bullying the doctors and the nurses.
Do you mind steer clear of him, actually? Like, seriously, if you don't want to answer the phone and you don't want to hear from him, seriously, you have to distance yourself from people.
That is really one good way of avoiding bullying. Avoid the person.
Avoid them.
Avoid the person.
But see, some kids at school can't get away, but we'll get there. Okay, Donna in Chicago. Hello! I'll be seeing you soon, Miss Donna, when I come over for Oprah's life class. Donna and I are going together. I can't wait. That'll be fun, won't it? Donna and I have had lots of Oprah experiences, and I especially chose Donna to take with me because she is the one who...
She likes Oprah.
Well, she loves Oprah, and Sydney...
So Donna is Megan's buddy, and they watch Oprah's life classes together.
Donna records life class for me on her television on TiVo, and then we watch it by her putting her computer up to the television screen.
Skype.
Yeah, by Skype. So it's very kind of a little bit blurry. Like, I'd much rather have the real thing. I'd much rather have own, but we watch it together, and then in the ad breaks we discuss it all. And we've learned a lot about each other in that time. Really fabulous.
Anyway, you're taking Donna.
So that's why I've chosen Donna. Anyway, Donna said that she's really interested in this video because she homeschools her daughter Sydney because she was bullied at school. It's hard. I mean, I find this a real hard one because, you know, you want your kids to get a slice of life, and you know, there are bullies in real life, as Paul has explained, like even when you leave. But sometimes if your kids were being that bullied, I think that would be an option. It'd be definitely something you'd consider, wouldn't it? If you couldn't change schools. What?
Well, I've got a different view. I think you give the kids the tools to deal with bullying.
Yes.
And the tools to deal with bullying, this is my opinion, you can have your own opinion, and Donna can have her opinion as well. However, you've got to give the kids the tools without giving them a baseball bat and a gun. However, people will push and continue to push up to where they find the boundary. And once they find the boundary and they get an adverse reaction, they won't go beyond that.
Yeah.
And so rather than being a victim and being victimised and bullied, I think if you were to teach your kids what's acceptable and what's not, and the way they deal with it might be that they draw a line in the sand and retaliate verbally, or they turn around and walk away and completely change the subject. But you can retaliate bullying without being a bully yourself.
Yeah. And the other thing, Maxie had a bit of bullying early on, and I just went up to one of the girls. It was funny because it was a girl, and he came over and said, "Mum, this girl's been kicking me." And I said, "Really?" And he's like, "Yeah." And he showed me the bruises on his leg, and it was quite insane. And so he said, so I went up to the girl at school and I said, "Oh, hi, sweetie. I hear you've been kicking Max." And she goes, "Oh, no, I haven't." And I go, "Oh, really?" I said, "That's what he's been telling me." And I said, "Anyway," I said, "you can tell me that." And I said, "But you know inside your own head whether you've been doing this or not." And I said, "If in your own head you have, I'd really like you to stop, thank you." And I was really nice, and she did. But I think sometimes kids need to see that there is another adult involved, and that, you know, someone was watching. And it also happened with a boy. It kind of backfired a little bit with me with this. Oh, it didn't backfire, but the school, everyone at school, you know, they're so politically correct that sometimes they all want you to ring the school, who will then contact the parents, and then the parents, you know. Anyway, what I did with this other one, because I've been so successful on my first venture of the phone call episode, I did it again, and this guy answered the phone, the boy, not the parents, because I was going to talk to the parents actually. And he got such a shock that he went and confessed to his parents, who then got really mad and rang the school. He didn't do it again, mind you, but the parents were angry that I had spoken. Instead of, if someone had rung me and said, "Your son is," can you imagine Max bullying? I can't imagine that. But if someone had said that, I would so want to know, and I would so be doing something about it, wouldn't you? I would not want my child to be a bully.
Sounds like the parents are bullies.
Yeah, it does.
And that's why the kids are bullied.
That's so true. Yeah. Because he learned it from them. I hadn't even thought of that, and then we just told that story.
That's so
true.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
okay.
So let's. Any more questions?
Yeah, there's heaps.
How many have we got?
Oh, Irene said, and now there's a new type of bullying, cyberbullying. That is so true. Because even on Facebook, like I have got a woman, I think it's only one person actually, because she's from New Zealand and she's decided she really doesn't like me. I don't know why.
I like the way when they do it, they're faceless.
Oh, they're always faceless. A picture of a puppy dog and stuff like that. Yeah. And there's got no friends on the page. But this is a woman presumably my age. Like, seriously, everyone.
That's psychotic behaviour to make themselves feel good.
But who at this age, like, she'll write things like, "Who does that Megan think she is, having Andy over?" You know, she's trying to put him off coming to my house for time. Like, it's like teenage, not even teenage, it's like primary school stuff. I know, but I find it so, I mean, it doesn't bother me because it's sort of water off a duck's back these days, but I find it so intriguing that a woman, a grown woman, would do that. Don't you?
What's the next question?
It's astounding. Okay, Adele said, I came across a story on the net about how a teacher handled bullying. A teacher in New York was teaching her class about bullying and gave them the following exercise to perform. She had the children take a piece of paper and told them to crumple it up, stamp on the piece of paper, and really mess it up, but not to rip it. Then she had them unfold the paper, smooth it out, and look at how scarred and dirty it was. She told them to tell it they're sorry. And dirty it was. She then told them to, hang on. Now, even though they were sorry and tried to fix the paper, she pointed out all the scars they'd left behind.
Irreparable.
That's excellent. Isn't that great? And that those scars will never go away no matter how hard they try to fix it. This is what happens when a child bullies another child. So true. And hopefully with all these famous people like, Lady Gaga and Taylor Swift talking about this, hopefully some kids will realise that it's just not acceptable. I don't know, do those kids listen? Do you think they do?
I think that maybe a lot of the bullying behaviour is taught, it's endemic, and it's taught from the parents, and probably even unknowingly taught from the parents, because mum might be aggressive and be a bully, and dad might be aggressive and be a bully, and so the kids watch how mum and dad...
Was it you who told me this week that when a kid's a bully and being really revolting, you're supposed to go up and touch their face and say... Was that you?
That was yes, it was psychotic behaviour, but they talked about kids, the documentary was talking about kids who felt nothing and had no empathy with any other humans. They were ones that would be nasty and beat someone.
Which is what a bully is, really.
Yes, but they're talking about seriously psychotic behaviour. Yeah. And they were working out whether they could try and fix it. And when they would say to the child and grab the child's face just nicely and hold the child would not look at mum or dad, the child would look anywhere else. And so that if you bent down and got to the same level as the child and you said to the child nice things, oh gee, you're a lovely kid, or you've got a lovely face, and try to get the kid to engage, to eyeball, that might have a marked effect. But they actually had video footage of Bryant.
Martin Bryant was
the guy who one of the biggest massacres in Tasmania and Hobart.
Yeah.
And he just took a gun and just
randomly killed people, families, and disgusting.
Shooting people, kids. And they had a video of him when he was much younger, and he'd done something, he'd blown himself up or petrol or something like that, and the interview person had said, gee, I bet you won't do that again. And his response was, yeah, I would. And that is psychotic behaviour. But can you just check the camera, because we're up to 10 minutes. The interesting thing is, if the parents taught the kids not to bully and to have a different behaviour, then we could eradicate and stamp out bullying within one generation.
True.
But it becomes endemic when mum and dad teach the kids, and then the kids only know one way, and it's all about territorial. People are territorial. They want their patch.
Yeah.
They're in the workplace. Yeah. They're looking for the promotion at home. They're looking for the #1 seat, or they're jockeying for the most attention for their parents, or they're looking for their patch in the playground. However, if parents were educated on how to deal with bullying, and in fact, just to show that they are the teachers, the parents have the biggest influence on the kids.
But some parents are not connected to their kids. That's the trouble.
That's right.
We are connected to our kids, so I can't even relate to that. But there are some kids who go home and they can't tell their mum and dad that some kids bullied them at school because the parents aren't interested. What happens then? What do you do? Because those parents don't care.
Need a bully hotline.
Yeah. And the kids need to know that they can go to a teacher, or if they can't go to a teacher, they can go to another adult. It doesn't have to be a teacher. It just needs to be an adult who can do something about it, maybe.
Do you know what? Well, they've got a hotline here in Australia where if parents are hitting or whacking the children, which in my day, I got smacked. If I did the wrong thing, you know what, that was the norm. Yeah. You can't do that these days, and kids are taught that.
You even got smacked at school, didn't you, with the cane?
Well, if we made a serious error, like at school, if we were like really bad, like we went on the oval before school in the morning, we were in the headmaster's office bending over and getting caned.
Really?
Yeah.
That's insane.
But that's how it was. But so now the kids are taught that mum and dad are not allowed to discipline the children with a stick or a cane or a whack. and there's a special line that you can ring, and the police will come straight around. Maybe they need a bullying line.
There probably is one. I wonder.
We should Google it.
Anyway, Adele, that paper analogy, screwing the paper up and then trying to unravel it, beautiful and fantastic. It's very poignant. And she says here that the looks on the kids' faces in the classroom, the message really hit home.
But see, that's an educational thing. So 20, 30 years ago
make a video doing that.
But, and this is how it works. 20 or 30 years ago, my vintage and older, they were not trained to not drink and drive. 0.05 and drink driving was sort of a new phenomenon, and people would still sneak one and get caught.
And your era actually thought it was kind of funny, didn't you? Oh, I got home last night, not sure how I drove home.
Well, I'm not going to say
I know
that.
You didn't do it,
but
well,
the kids these days, or the kids I know, you get your license, you're on P plate, 0. It's not even a question. Not even going to sneak a drink.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
And so there is a generational thing that's been taught, and it's been extremely effective. And yeah, there's always a few exceptions to the rule, but at the 0.05, you're a bloody idiot if you drink and drive. That campaign has worked very well. So the bullying one could work.
I think kids will start to realise.
It needs to be a government initiative where they need to take the bull by the horns, and it could improve a lot of things.
Yeah. Kelvin, this is our anti-bullying break for one. This is our interlude because he's got a new question. I like Kelvin. He asks us something every week. So he wants to know, he likes my jewellery. He wants to know how he can own a piece. That's so cute. Just email me or, send me a message about that.
The sheer weight of money will get you into a meeting, Castron.
Oh, don't be so crass. I never push my jewellery on here. When people want it, they find it. And if they don't, they don't. Seriously,
exactly.
Don't do that.
Exactly.
For Paul, what do you love most about doing real estate, and what is your ultimate goal in your career?
That's a good one. My ultimate goal, is sort of open-ended, because the way I think about it, I keep growing. What I really like, I like teaching the younger guys, and they absorb it and they become really smart, and then they become very effective in what they do. Yeah. And then only this morning, my head of property management, who's been with me 11 years, who's really sharp, he came to me and we were talking about one of the young guys we've put on. And so I'm 52 and Rick is 31 and the young guy now is 19. And Rick was telling me, he said that Seb, you know who you are, Seb, is going really well. And Rick said, it reminds me of how you taught me, now I'm teaching Seb.
Oh, that's nice.
It's not that hard.
Yeah.
So, you know what, if I can keep building on that, and I really like to give the young guys a go.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
And I really like it when they absorb. So that is always a continuous goal, obviously, to run an effective business and to try and do it better and faster. And our business has been revolutionised, let me tell you, with the internet, the way we manage property, the way we do all our advertising, the way all our signboards are erected, everything's proofed.
Yeah.
So what was the question again? I'm getting so excited.
I'll check you got to talk about him. He wanted to know what you loved the most about doing real estate.
So.
Oh, he's back again. He's just allowed another 10 minutes so we can talk about that.
So, what I love about real estate is every day you wake up, there's something different and there's something challenging. It's not all milk and honey, make no mistake. The markets change. Nothing stays the same forever. Nothing's soaring, nothing's plummeting, nothing's ebb tide. So, and what I actually like is that I'm not bolted to the desk. I'm out and about. I'm out and about, and I'm doing the meet and greet and seeing different properties and talking to people about different things. And so I really like that, and I really like training the young guys. And my ultimate goal, yes, is just to have a more and more successful office with guys that are really passionate about what they do.
As Paul is getting a little bit older, everybody, as he approaches his retirement years, he likes to think a lot about superannuation. It's his little passion. Like, I hear him talking about superannuation all the time.
That's a whole video in itself, and I'm going to talk to you about that, because
Paul's got this guy that they talk about superannuation till the cows come home, and I am starting to understand.
Google him. His name's Andrew Bloor, Bloore, and his company is called Super IQ. This guy is a genius. He was involved in the drafting of the legislation for the Howard government on superannuation and self-managed superannuation funds. And there is $600 million a week, or $2.4 billion a month. Multiply, that's $30 billion a year. And over the next 3 years, that's the clip of the ticket of 9% of everyone's wages at the moment in Australia. And that's going to rise through to 12%. So it's going to go up 30%. 30% of 30 billion is another 10.
What are you saying?
That's 40 billion a year of money that has to be invested in one of three things generally. It's either on term deposit, on cash deposit, it's in property, or it's in shares, stocks and shares. And a big swag of it goes into property, and that's what I do. And property, if you buy the right property,
you two should make a video together about property and superannuation.
Look, I told you, Unit 2, 81 Edinburgh Street, Richmond. A lovely gentleman, Mr. Peter Bailey, he rang me up. He's owned the unit since 1991. I sold it to him on the 8th of December. He rang me, I knew him straight away.
We made a video last week about that.
Anyway, he bought it for $86,000. It'll probably sell for around $300,000. He's done nothing.
Yeah,
he has just enjoyed living there, and look how much it's gone up. That is the perfect one for super. So probably automating the systems and having a system that works the best to have multiple platforms of business running through it. That would be my ultimate goal, because people are going to sort of self-help.
That's right. See? He loves it. You do love talking about superannuation. He does. I hear him at dinners talking about that as his thing.
Well, that's what you retire on. You know, what if you can have... If you can have...
but you know more
security
about that than anyone I know, apart from obviously that guy that you talk to. But you are very knowledgeable on that.
And Andrew is the only guy. I ask him a question. He doesn't say, I'll ring you back or I'll check the legislation.
Because he wrote it. He wrote the legislation.
He gives me the answer on the spot.
Yeah.
It's bloody awesome.
Let's make a video with him.
Yeah.
For all you that love all that stuff out there, we'll do that. Okay. Getting back to Fluffy. Well, not Fluffy so much, but Alex in Reading has asked us a question. Maxie's Alex. I love good questions. Every week we get one. If we could go to uni tomorrow and sign up for a course, what kind of course would you do?
I want to improve my computer skills and my social media skills. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
Because pretty much, you see, Alex, 30 years ago, no computer, no internet was the binary system, ones and zeros, right? You wouldn't believe it. And computer, that was dull and nothing happening.
This generation's, their kids are up and...
when the internet's down, business stops.
Yeah.
And that's all there is to it. Like, everyone's business stops.
Yeah.
So what I find, what would I do? I'd go back to uni. Yep, I would like to be able to understand and better. I'm doing my best. I'm learning all the time.
Pretty good. I'm impressed.
And learning, but you know, like Jake comes over,
Jake.
and he's 19, and he knows everything.
He does know everything. I wish I did too.
And I teach Jake things about business.
Yeah.
But Jake he's employed by the office, and he loves it. He comes into the office. So to answer your question, Alex, I would do really about social media application and general knowledge of computer, and I'd love it.
Would you like to know what I would like to do?
What would you like to do?
I would do probably more on social media, but also I'd like to learn more about iMovie and editing and...
which is computer related? All
computer related, yeah. I'd like to do iMovie, and I'd like to understand, Illustrator and all those, so I could draw graphics and stuff like that and play with photos.
You need eight
I need 40
days a
hours.
week.
Yeah, I do.
I'm just going to check this and start again.
Okay. Caroline has now said, were our kids bullied, which is what I just talked about before. Zoe's never really been bullied so much, has she?
No.
But Zoe's a bit more, she doesn't take that sort of stuff either. Zoe
sets her own boundaries. She's a beautiful kid, but Zoe sets her own boundaries.
She's a Scorpio.
And I don't think people would even attempt to bully Zoe, because she's not that style of personality, and everyone's got a different personality.
Yeah, true.
But
Zoe is also someone who, from what I've taught her, which I love, she'll go up and stick up for kids too. Like if she sees kids being bullied, she won't just sit there and stay out of it. She'll actually fix it. Which I really am proud of.
That's why she's a house captain.
That's right.
That's why she was middle school captain.
Ali is a teacher, and she said it frustrates her that the media is always saying that schools aren't doing enough about it, but she also said that the schools...
It's not...
The kids... No, stop, let me finish the question. She's saying that the kids are not telling anyone. So how can the schools talk about it if the kids are too scared to say anything? They need to report it to their teachers or to an adult who can convey it to the teachers.
Look,
because it's only kids. Like seriously, half the time it can be just stopped so quickly.
Look, it's easy. It's easy. Who teaches the kids to get dressed? Mum and Dad. Who teaches the kids table manners generally at home?
Yeah, but not everyone's got
Mum and
that.
Dad. Hang on, Mum and Dad. Who toilet trains the kids? Mum and Dad. Where do the kids learn to speak? Mum and Dad.
In a perfect world.
In every world, that's what happens. Is most kids follow the behaviour of their parents, and so how do the kids know about bullying? Mum and Dad. So all of a sudden, the issue gets dropped on the school teachers, and so the school teachers really have to be parents to iron out the problems of what is really happening in the home. And so, you know what? If it's systemic, right, to the root, to the stem, if it's systemic, then
Did you make
need...
that word up?
No.
Come on, I'm running.
You go and Google it. You need to go right to the root of the cause. And the poor school teachers...
And how do you think those parents are going to react when they ring up and go, look, we actually think you might be bullied?
And I told you, you know what, you won't fix this. This is a generational thing. This will take 50, 60 years to fix. It's like what's going on the Gaza Strip.
How do you think we can encourage teenagers that it's okay to ask for help? Because it's either ask for help or get bullied. That's the choice. And you have to be, you know what, you just have to do it.
It's a communication thing.
You have to do it.
So that it really needs to be a government initiative, and it is a communication thing, because how much more efficient and how much more productive can the workforce be if there's no bullying?
Do you know what?
It's like sickness. It's like people taking sick days.
The worst social media site that I have seen for teenagers is that Formspring.
Yeah, because it's faceless.
I am telling you right now, if your children are on there, get them off. Or supervise it. Have access to your kids' Formspring, because it's only the most destructive site I've ever seen. Yeah, they're all anonymous, and they can go on and ask anonymous questions. I find it unbelievably disgusting, and the way the kids communicate on there is not on. I just don't like it at all.
I agree.
And people, because they're anonymous, feel that they can just say anything or make some random statement to these kids that could set them back for years. So if your kids are on it, check it out. Go and read their history. Just tell them that they can't be on it unless you've got access to it. I really believe that.
Imagine if all of a sudden one of these kids that was bullying was actually being filmed, and then the film went on the news at night in the evening, how the kid would feel.
Yeah.
They would feel very different if all of a sudden their behaviour was publicly displayed. And so...
Yes, I agree.
You know, that's like candid camera, you know, catch them in the act and then show the world... What's that, Coney? That great big bloody media campaign, right?
Yeah.
And
exposing
so the whole
exactly
world,
like Coney, that's true.
Yes. You know, I was talking to someone else. I mean, everyone knows about Coney. The whole world, everyone's bought a kit and they're going to stick up these placards.
So are you saying that the kids at school, that the headmasters should go, look, here's Billy, and Billy is like a bully, and we don't know, because then that's going to ostracise him and he might be worse. You can't really... How do you do that?
Why people don't drink and drive for fear of being caught, because there's retribution.
But what's the school going to do? They can't put them up on the stage in assembly and say, look, this kid's a bad kid. Can they?
People get labelled as...
That's like going back to the dark ages with people wearing the big A for adultery and stuff like that. Like,
when kids get their licence, they're labelled as P-platers. When people are sexual predators, they get labelled, and they're labelled with police. I mean, you know...
Look, I get it.
You know, people, you cannot not be accountable for your actions. It's a simple system.
I'm just putting it out there because that's where
you think about this. Here's a beauty. So the kids that are bully have to wear a bee hanging around their neck. Well, you know, and if they get caught bullying, they have to wear a bee, you know, around their neck.
Maybe they could get like one of those texters that doesn't
Harry Potter bee for a week. For a week, you know what, and they'll want to get that bloody sticker off them straight away because they won't want to be labelled as a bully.
True.
And so therefore they've got to be accountable.
Wow. What do you guys think?
It's called a KPI.
This is a great discussion.
It's called a key performance indicator. You see, you know, when people are accountable, they change. When people aren't accountable, behaviour's different.
Tracy said regarding cyberbullying, she's seen it on my page. I know you have. Tracy's my guard dog who finds lots of things. She's wonderful.
She's like an automatic software finder.
She is amazing. She is amazing. And funnily enough, here's another story. Years ago when I very first started YouTube, and I'll put the video under here about someone copied my page and I had identity fraud, and it was frightening, like, because I just started on YouTube, and like when I started on YouTube, as you guys know, people really didn't know what I was doing, and people really like to have their 2 cents worth, and they still do a little bit, but now I'm finding much less, and I'm finding I'm getting much more respect from it. Yeah. It's amazing. Just this last week, I noticed so much difference in the reaction. It's been quite amazing. It's been an amazing week for me. But anyway, what was I going to say then? Oh, so anyway, I had this identity fraud guy, right?
Senior moment.
And the reason I took him off was not because he had done anything really bad. He used to comment on my things, but he was associated with another guy on YouTube who looked at serial killings and stuff like that. And I just didn't kind of like
Ted Bundy.
Yeah, it was like a bit yuck, and I was so new to YouTube, and so I just blocked him and blocked the other one, because really I didn't think they cared. Like, I didn't think that they would even notice that I was gone. Anyway, he did notice that I had blocked him, and then he went on this rampage of opening up different accounts under my name, doing all this stuff. Anyway, I worked it all out and got it stopped, and then I don't know, maybe 6 months later he appeared again, and I could tell his style of writing when he wrote to me. I think he called himself Jewelchic Stalker or something the next time. And I went, oh, don't tell me he's back. Anyway, so I wrote him a note and I said, you know what, all I ever wanted to do was just have fun on here and do nice videos. I'm not out to annoy anyone. I'm just trying to put positive stuff out there. He wrote back to me and he said, thanks for writing to me. He said, I can't believe that you haven't reported me, because I had all the IP addresses and all that sort of stuff. Funnily enough, I have the IP address for the people who do it to me, so that's kind of funny as well, the Facebook ones. But you know what? I don't want to do anything about it, because I think they're their own punishment anyway. And this guy actually now sends me beautiful little messages.
All those faceless IPers, we're watching you.
You don't think I don't know how to work that out. But what I really like is that this guy now sends me, this week he sent me a video of someone singing a really beautiful, soft, lovely song. And he's not, you know what, he was so grateful that I didn't report him and do all that sort of stuff, and that he could see that I was authentic because of all the stuff I say, that when it came for my chance to report him, I didn't. And when it came for me to listen to him, I did. And so now we're friends. So Tracy was just saying, children who bully are often a result of parents who bully, which is what we've been saying. Do we agree? Yes, quite often, but I think there's also some psycho nutcases out there as well.
In the main, that's where they learn.
Do you think for the most part the people who use words as weapons are doing so because they're insecure, have low self-esteem, and are not happy with their own lives? Yes.
100%. Why else would you do it? Because you're making yourself feel better.
Yeah.
Because you feel shit.
Yeah. By putting someone down, that makes them feel better. It's so ridiculous. I used to always say that to the kids. There used to be a kid at school that would do that, and I'd say they're just saying that to make them. I used to say, don't go and tell them to not make put you down to make themselves feel better. Like, that wasn't worded very well, but
I'm glad you got that out. You wouldn't believe she was good at English.
Okay. Jeremy, if you could say one thing to bullies to change their thinking, what would it be?
Treat people as you would like to be treated.
Do you think that would really get through to people who are bullies? I don't know. I don't know how to fix the problem. What would you say?
Sometimes actions speak louder than words.
Give them a bit of a push, you reckon? I don't know. It depends on what's going on with the bullying, because...
Do you know what? If there's an electric fence and you get 5,000 volts when you touch it and it gives you a shock, you usually don't go back for a second time.
Yeah, I've got an interesting letter coming up in a minute that we'll get into discussing that in a sec, so hang on. Josephine said, what sort of SLR would you suggest for a beginner? I don't know. Zoe's got a Nikon D3100, I think it's called, and she loves it. And it's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, but get one with a video, get one with a high-def video.
She's got video?
Yeah. So, but entry level.
Nikon D3100, I think.
Yeah.
You know what? Go to your camera shop, because they're really...
You can't go past the entry level Nikons.
Or read some of those camera magazines.
Or Canon, entry level Canon.
Yeah.
Next one.
I hate bullying. What advice would you give to family members who are being bullied? Do you mean within a family? I don't know. Just steer clear.
The family's bullying it?
I guess. She just said.
What
advice would you give to family members who are being bullied? Or does she mean like your son or child or something?
Well,
I just think you have to stand up for yourself, report it, fix it, do something about it, but don't remain silent and don't put up with it. That is the most important thing. You cannot put up with it. You cannot sit there and suffer. Seriously, I wouldn't.
What's the next one?
I don't. After seeing Zoe driving in the last video, Megan, what car do you drive and do you love it and why? I've got a convertible Mercedes that I love. I've had it for, I don't know, how long?
9 years.
9 years. I love it. It's silver, it's got red seats, and I chose it, and it's beautiful. Isn't it? Love it. And I love it because, I don't know, I got to choose exactly what I wanted, like the red leather seats, and it just makes me happy. And having a convertible is such a nice feeling, you know.
And it's got a television in it.
Yeah, it does have a television, which has been really handy.
When Megan used to go down and have to wait for Zoe while Zoe was coming out of school or doing a musical, she could watch Oprah.
Well, it hasn't got a video recorder.
No, it's got a television in it. So if the Oprah show was on, you could watch it.
But you can't obviously watch it while you're driving because that automatically goes off. But what I did like, when I used to have to go out at like 1 o'clock when Oprah used to be on, I could just listen to it like a radio show in the car. I did used to do that. It was fun. Okay, Rosemary says bullying happens regardless of age.
Correct. I agree, 100%.
Throughout school, it was because she was Italian, and in Australia they used to call them wogs. I don't know what they call them in the States or whatever. That doesn't seem to be an issue anymore. That's true because we're becoming more integrated, isn't it?
Yeah.
However, bullying reared its ugly head again under a year ago, and this time it was harder to bounce back. It impacted my work, my health, and my confidence. I've been working so hard to get my health back, because it came from someone in a very senior position that I looked up to, admired, and completely trusted. Isn't that the worst?
Bizarre.
When you have liked someone and they let you down, I think that is just awful. I still have difficulty understanding why they went to the extent they did to do this. It hurt me much more than high school. I know. Because someone that's intelligent, educated, and mature can still be a bully. I totally hear you. I had a friend do it to me and it blew me away. I was so shocked that someone could be so outrightly tragic, and it blew me away. The funny thing was, when that happened, I made a video talking about how this friend had betrayed me, and then I heard back later that she considered that cyberbullying, even though I never said her name and never said what she did, or never. It was just like this roundabout thing. But I think her guilty conscience.
If the hat fits. If the hat fits.
I mean, you know.
But what was even funnier?
I'm really a cyberbully. You're right. I'm just trying to get my point across because she was saying such bad things.
There was quite a few other people concerned that it was about them.
Yeah.
And I said, do they feel guilty for a reason?
Yeah. Oh, isn't that hilarious? Yeah, that was funny, wasn't it? The upside is that looking for and focusing on happy, positive things led me to me. I'm on my page. That's nice. And she likes. This is Rosemary, who I met. Rosemary came to the Fashion Week with me last Saturday. So this time last week, I was actually sitting with you, Rosemary, and that's the one who I told you went for a walk, goes for walks and stuff. So she's been watching the videos. Do you and Paul have any advice/tips that would help with the trust issues around those with authority and power in the workplace? As I'm going to find this difficult when I finally secure work again. No, you're not, because you're not going to accept that again, and you're not going to look for it either.
I think if you're employed and you make the comment in an informal way, that if something like that was to happen and you just off the record went in, shut the door and said, this is unacceptable behaviour. What, so
to the boss, shut the door and said, you've been treating me badly?
Not in writing.
Yeah, not in writing.
And not a threat, but just making the point that
you are not accepting
that this type of behaviour is unacceptable behaviour, and that you don't condone it, and that he should know how you feel about it.
Yeah. But I certainly wouldn't be announcing the fact that you went through this in a job interview.
No, that's right. Because do you know what? Your new job might be awesome and fantastic, and it never rears its head,
and it
so
always
it's never an issue.
Like a funny feeling. Before.
So that, you know, if you're having the job interview and they say, "Why did you leave the last job?" and you say, "I was bullied," you'd instantly think, "But gee, maybe
Yeah.
There might be a problem employing you in this job, so you just remain silent. You know, sometimes things happen in a random way, so just let that one go, and your new job might be awesome.
I just needed a change or something.
Yeah, and speak highly of your previous employer, in my opinion, and say, look, I really enjoyed it, but I'm looking for a new challenge, and I'd done it for a long time, and I'd had enough, and this is what I'm looking for, and I think that's better. But I think if it happens, I think if that was me, and someone came in and they were concerned and serious, and they said it to me in a nice way, then I would take that on board and I would endeavour to fix it.
Yeah, good. Has anyone ever done that?
No, but you know, look, do you know what? 30 years ago...
Do we need to check the video? No, not really yet. I don't think so.
30 years ago, you know, someone walked in, you could slap them on the backside. You know, like...
Well, I hope you didn't.
No, but you know what, I used to go. I used to have 4 offices, and it used to take me a day to go around the offices. And one of my offices was in Dandenong.
Yeah.
And they're all real characters out there. They're all nice guys, but you know, I used to walk out of the office scratching my head. You know, they were bending over the photocopier, and you know, like it was like.
What do you mean they were bending over the photocopier? What do you?
They were photocopying themselves on the photocopier, and like they were all having fun. But you see, well, everyone. But you see. You know, the workforce has changed. I mean, that's 30 years ago.
In real estate now? Probably not.
Do you know what one of them is? But do you know what? I mean, when I was looking for a secretary, you know, 25 years ago. So I remember, say, 30 years ago, this is how things have changed, and this is how behaviour has changed, and what's acceptable and what's unacceptable. Okay. I used to write an advertisement. You know, our office needs a bright, young, intelligent girl for secretarial. You see, so you can't say young because that's discriminatory.
Oh, I see.
You can't say female because that's discriminatory.
You can't even say female.
No. And when they come for a job interview now, you can't ask how old they are because that's discriminatory. You can't ask whether they're married or single because that's discriminatory. You can't really ask where they live because that's discriminatory, because you might put them on or not put them on because of where they live. And so the resumes have changed, you see, so things have changed. What behaviour was acceptable 30 years ago, and like it was unacceptable. It was acceptable to talk about a blackboard, now it's a chalkboard. You know, there's all these...
That's the most ridiculous thing ever.
So there's all these things, you see, so behaviours change.
I hadn't even realised that one.
Yeah. And so, do you know, and people are still learning, all the time learning, about education. So to answer the question here exactly is communicate with them if it happens again. That's all I do. Because you know what?
Yeah.
With the laws in Australia, Victoria and Australia in the workplace, you wouldn't want to do the wrong thing.
Yeah, the employer.
Yeah.
Correct.
You try and do the right thing.
Yeah. Okay, Nina has said she's fascinated by bullying in the workplace because that's the area she's working in, you know, Nina.
Sure. Hi.
And how, in fact, the need to earn an income often means that people find themselves trapped and believing the option of choice is removed. Have you ever found yourselves in this situation? If so, what approach have you adopted to manage it?
No, because I've always been in my situation by my own choice.
I had it in a kind of silly way when I told you when I worked for a company and the man made a pass at me, and then... Is that camera still going?
Yeah, it is.
I don't think it is.
Oh yeah, it is, I can tell.
I'm checking. Hang on, I'm coming back.
Can you believe that? When Megan was working at this company...
Oh, it is still going.
This guy,
don't say what was or anything.
He was maybe 60.
Yeah, anyway, so let me tell the rest because I'm scared that you're going to give away what it was.
He fancied Megan.
No, but what happened after that was once I'd rejected it, but really super nicely, almost pretended that I hadn't even noticed.
I'll show you what happened. They'd been done good business there in Sydney.
Don't say where I was.
Anyway,
no, we told the story the other week.
And he leaned across to go like this.
And I went,
You didn't go.
Didn't go.
No. As he leaned across, you went, oh.
Yeah. You know, but anyway, apart from that, what happened after that was that he no longer wanted to sell the thing that I was doing. And so I really had no choice but to leave there because I felt so...
bullied?
Well, I guess in a very silly sense it was. And I didn't even tell the owners because I wasn't that put out by it. I certainly didn't consider it sexual harassment or anything like that. Like, I would never go and say, I could have, but I just wouldn't have done it. Like, it's just not me. And so I just left. And it was awful. I remember the day I told you that I was leaving. And it made me cry. I know, but it was hard and it was sad because I was really happy doing that stage of my life.
And I've always been doing what I do by my own choice. So
yeah,
if I could never say that I was hemmed in or I did it because I had to do it, because that's not the case.
Christine, who's just had that beautiful tiny little baby who's now home.
She's got a new CD in the cupboard.
Oh, did you see that photograph she put on Facebook today? The baby's like this big. I want to come and steal it. Oh my God. So adorable. I'm coming to get him. I've warned you. You'll know it's me. I think his name's Noah, isn't it?
I think so.
So gorgeous. I think help and support needs to be available and promoted to the bullies as well as the victims. It's probably true. If we only focus on the victims, the cycle is not going to be broken, especially at school age. If bullies had no need to bully, because of domestic issues, self-esteem, etc., would that not help enormously?
Yeah. Well, yes. There we are. You've got to go to the root of the problem.
So what do? You go to the bullies and say, we're running a special class for you guys.
Hey, that's right. Your behaviour is unacceptable. And look, if you get caught drink driving, you have to go and do these alcohol courses.
Yeah.
Friends of ours are doing that, and they don't like it. They say it's no fun, and you have to have an education process. So you take those kids out and you stick them in a class. And they get educated.
I want you to listen to this because this letter shocked me today. This is from Hayden. He said he's in year 12. I moved schools because of bullying when I was in primary school. Listen to this, everybody. I was lit on fire, hit with cricket bats, had chairs thrown at me in a locked room, and I couldn't get out of it. That makes me so angry. Like, I can't even believe it. Lots of things like that. And even though I'm lucky enough to be no longer the subject of bullying, I still see it occur all the time at school to other people. As a student, and I suppose because you've seen it, you don't want to get involved again, and you're probably scared to get involved in case it starts happening again, which is understandable, I suppose. As a student, I feel as though what I want to do is stand up for the kids is far from enough. Say No to Bullying Day was a great day for me because it was a nationwide focus on an issue that not enough people are aware of.
So you could say no to bullying that day without being bullied yourself.
Yeah, to see you putting a focus on that was, you're glad that we're doing it. Do you have any creative ideas that I could attempt to use to help these kids that are in a situation I once used to find myself in? I don't know, you would probably have the best resources because you would know how it felt. What do you think about that? Like, to be lit on fire and hit with a cricket bat, that's not just someone, like, I didn't like that girl kicking Max either, but by comparison...
You need to take advice from someone who's a professional in that area, which I'm not. A professional in that area, about how to deal with the bullying. It's a really good question.
What would happen at this new school when you see things like that happening to the other kids? What would happen if you went up and just said, you know what, this has got to stop right now, otherwise I'm going to report it? Like, what would happen? Would you then...
You'd probably get thugged.
I'm interested because you're year 12 now. Would that happen or would they look up to you? I don't know, you've got to put that to yourself. Don't sort of get yourself in trouble, but I wonder what would happen there.
You see, one individual is going to struggle to fix this problem, and it needs to be a government body or a bigger initiative, and there needs to be retribution for that behaviour so that they know that if that behaviour occurs, this is what happens to them, and they get dealt with by a system. So if you drink and drive, you get dealt with by a system.
I want to know what your parents did too and how did they feel, because... What would you do? Like, I would be blown away if that happened to our kids.
Do you know what? This kid can observe that, but he would rather that someone came in and said, hey, you come into this room here, you guys are bullies, and there's a system that deals with it, because then the individual's not going to be persecuted for trying to help.
Do you know what, though? Some of those kids really don't even care. And... I remember there was this one other time when Mother Megan got involved, and it was actually a girl and to Max, and I can't even remember the entire situation, but she was vile, and so what happened? Somehow she text messaged me and I said, you know what, I really don't like... No, I think she sent this hideous message to Max and it made him nervous. So I decided I would text message respond. And she told me to off and like...
That's right.
Written down, like, I could not believe that she could speak to an adult in that way. I was shocked. I was shocked. In fact, I can't say anything, but there's someone who knows who that is out there who watches our videos, and that's just reminded me of that. I'll tell that person who it is, who it was. How funny is that? Okay, so Margot says, build your children's self-esteem. Oh, where's my questions gone? Okay, there they are. Build your children's self-esteem, communicate with them, let them know they can always talk to you. Yeah, I agree with all that, but some parents aren't like that. Like we are. And but some kids haven't got parents who will do that. Yeah, but some...
Hear the F1s in the background? Where's Grand Prix?
The poor okay, she's gone on to say that. Then you can dress them, but find tools to fix them. But the poor darlings that are bullied at school then feel at home they won't be listened to either. They feel powerless. Kids should feel that they've got a soft place to fall at home. That's so true. Everyone should. You know, like if Paul's had a bad day at work or if I've had a crap day, it's nice to come home here and have your family.
Home is sacred.
Yeah.
Home is a place where you should always feel safe.
Yeah, I agree.
And loved.
Yes. Plus, I think that instead of placing so much emphasis, yeah, Margot's sort of saying that needs, you know, some attention needs to be made on the bully as well, which is true. Okay, Karen said that she was on a tram the other day. Hello, Karen. She's had a tough week this week, our little Karen. And so I hope you're feeling better. I know, she's a gutsy one.
What did you do? Did you fall out of the tram, Karen?
She's just had lots of stuff going on.
Did you ladder your stockings, Dale?
I've become very fond and concerned of my Facebook friends, and I see something's wrong. It's like, oh. Anyway, she was on a tram this week. I've read the story so I can just relay it to you. And she said there was this really fun little kid on the tram and he was making all these witty comments, and she's quite witty, so she was enjoying that. And all the kids were laughing and having fun. Then when that kid got off, all the kids went around and bagged him and said really awful things. She said she found it funny because she really wanted to laugh at some of the things he was saying. When this boy got off the tram, each of the other boys took turns at putting the young boy down about his height, what he'd said, and you were so disappointed. Now, do you know what I would have done? And I reckon maybe you did this too, but you haven't said that you did. I would have had to have said something. I could not let that go, which might get me into trouble sometimes, but I would have said something. I really would have. Unless they were rough-looking boys that I thought could have been dangerous, but generally I would have done something.
What you should have gone up to the kids and said, before you bag someone openly and publicly, you should know who's around before you do it.
By the same token, everyone out there, this goes for all of us. This goes for if you're sitting at one of those women's lunches that, you know, a lot of chicks out there go to, and you're sitting there and someone is bagging
women's
someone.
Lunches, like guys don't go to them. They'd have to be a chick, wouldn't they?
I don't know why women go to them, to be honest, but a lot of women do enjoy that, and they sit around, they have a little gossip. Now, if you are one of those women at a lunch and you hear someone bagging someone, I would like to think that you would stand up and you don't even have to stand up. If you are not gutsy enough to say, you know what, no, remain silent. But you know what I do? If someone starts bagging someone and I am there listening, I go, you know what, I have never had that experience. They have always been fantastic to me. Because I can't join in on that, and I'm not prepared to bag someone that I like. I just can't do it. I really can't,
or
and it annoys me.
Let someone else bag someone you like.
I don't like, yes, that's right, I don't like someone else doing it either. And so if you can put a stop to it, then it makes me cross. Because women should be supporting other women.
Which finger?
Oh, this one.
Not the bird.
It does get me angry because I do think that women should support other women. I do,
What's
they
the next
should.
Question? Getting very steamy here.
Yes, this is a good topic, everyone. We're going to go over an hour, I think, today.
Quickly, go
I'll
get
be banned off YouTube forever.
This one will take 4
Karen
days to load.
Here's a comic relief question. She's wondering if I've decided what I'll wear to Oprah. Well, I'm thinking maybe the outfit that I wore to the fashion week this time last week. I had a white jacket with a yellow shirt and black pants. Have a look on my Facebook page. Or, what else was I thinking? Or that vest that I've got that's kind of silver with black and white spots at the bottom.
What about the sequin pants?
Or the sequin pants that I wore to fashion week. I am open to
You know
hearing
the story
from you
about
guys.
Hansel and Gretel, how they used to leave all the crumbs when Megan goes out with her sequin pants.
Yeah, very funny. They're not that bad. It's the odd shit. Anyway, I would really like to know what you guys think I should wear. And keep in mind that in those auditoriums it sometimes gets hot, and I have trouble with that. Like, if it's hot, I just like melt. So I don't want to be wearing anything that I'm
hot
just going to...
means 21.5 degrees, cold means 20.5 degrees.
And it means that all my hair under here starts going like curly.
At even 21.
We're getting so revved up here today, aren't we? This is a really good topic.
Quick go, quickly.
I like having a theme. Plus, I'm so passionate about it. What was your most important life lesson or aha moment, or simply what you really got for the first time in your 20s, 30s and 40s? My biggest aha moment that I remember is after watching The Secret, and you've all heard this a million times, but it was after watching The Secret I realised that I had created my life and that I continue to create it and that I can control things like that. Right when I was talking about The Secret and how that had empowered me, not because I learned something new. Well, I did learn that I created it, but I'd always been doing stuff like that. Like, I had always lived my life in that way. So when I watched The Secret, I think that is my greatest lesson that I learned, that we are more in control of our actions and our thoughts becoming our reality than we really even know. Do you agree? You do?
Well, we all know. If someone walks into the room and they're a downer or a zapper, the door's shut because you go, oh my God, I just can't stand to listen to that. I just can't stand to listen to that. And when someone walks in, I go, hi, how are you?
It's so refreshing to have someone
immediately engage in something that's fun, right?
Yeah.
Then the doors...
It doesn't even have to be fun. It can be serious and like a discussion to be discussed, but it doesn't have to be
Here's an interesting story, and this is typical, okay? This is how things happen. So Megan and I go to a little restaurant, not a restaurant, a cafe called Pillar of Salt in Church Street, Richmond. So while we're there, I've got a sandwich, Megan's having a cup of tea, and there's a guy sitting, a really nice looking fella sitting beside, chatting to this girl. Anyway, he had a bowl of fries put in front of him, and Megan goes...
I didn't want to order a bowl.
No, just listen. They smell nice, and they were sitting right beside us, so you couldn't not hear that. And the guy, just listen. The guy picked up the bowl and said, please have one. And so Megan said, oh, thank you. And she took one. And next thing, we engaged in conversation. Next thing, the conversation went further because he was a really nice guy and he was interesting. And so what we learned is that he's been doing up real estate and blah, blah, blah. And he's a shop fitter and a tradesman by profession. Anyway,
he might come and work at Castor and Gilbert.
I then found out he holds the Australian record for the 400-metre hurdles.
In Olympics?
He ran in the 2000 Olympics and the 96 Olympics. And I've read his resume, his email, but I'm going to have an interview with him next week.
Yeah.
And I think he would be fantastic because he understands because he's done lots of real estate, trading, doing up, renting, leasing, selling.
I don't reckon he'll see this because he would have had to have watched about an hour of
it. But it's all irrelevant. Yeah. But you see, look, I'd never met this guy.
Yeah, we did have great energy.
Within 5 minutes, all these doors have opened. So I text him, he texted me back, he emailed, I got a resume, we're catching up next week. And that...
You're welcome.
But that was because Megan's engaging and this guy had good energy.
Yeah, it was fun.
And so...
Can I tell a story? Have you finished your story?
Please.
This week, right, on Facebook, there were these fabulous boots. I went into a shop and there were these like boots and on the sides...
You only have to say, it had... Fluoro.
It had fluoro, the elastic bit on the side of the boot.
Like riding boots.
Right, like riding boots, little short ones. Anyway, they were flat, they were fluoro, amazing. I had to have them. Now, I put a photo on Facebook and I said, which colour should I get?
Orange or yellow?
Please know that I did not say, do you like these boots? I said, which colour should I get? I love them. So I get these people, just a few people going, I hate them, I wouldn't get either. Now, that's fine, and I'm not angry about any of that. What I want to get across though is, why did they say that? Why did they feel the need to tell me that they didn't like them? Because I don't care, because I am already in love with them.
They might have misread the question.
No. I think so. It's like what we were saying the other day, silence is golden, because sometimes I don't expect everyone to like what I like by any means.
Which pair should she get? So one smart person, and I mean smart in a sincere way, said get both and then you've got 3 pairs because what you could do is wear one orange and one yellow.
I will do that.
So you can do 2 yellows, 2 orange or one of each and then you've got 3 pairs. And so you know what?
I'm going to get both. Anyway, but I do find it fascinating. So on Facebook, everyone, what I like to keep my page happy and uplifting. And so that's why I delete a lot of stuff that I don't like, because a lot of people come to my page to feel happy. And when they have to come and see people saying stuff to me that they might not like, I feel that they feel they've got to defend me, and then everyone gets a bit narky and angry. So I try to keep my page just very lighthearted and upbeat.
Here's the moral of the story.
It's not that I can't bear hearing anything negative or anything like that, but I don't need to know that people didn't like the boots, and I'm not like, people didn't upset me, but I just don't understand it.
Because Megan's page is happy and has good energy, the doors fly open all the time, and Megan gets wonderful opportunities at doing all sorts of different things because people enjoy having her company.
Yeah, I don't want the negative stuff.
So Megan was asked to be an ambassador.
Go and write that on someone else's page. You can leave me off the negative list.
Yeah, but yet Megan gets asked to do nice things all the time.
It's nice.
Just simply because she puts out good energy.
I don't want the bad stuff.
So, quickly, go get the chicken. I think there's only a couple.
However, if I do say, do you like this jacket, it means, oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing. You can feel free to go, that is disgusting. But if I say, I love this jacket, which colour, just tell me what colour. What was your motto? Okay, we've done that. Tracy said, it's me again, part 2. Talk for a minute, I'm just reading. Schools perhaps had more mentors. Oh, she's just saying that maybe schools need to have more mentors for kids to talk to. Yes, but the fact is the kids are going to have to, some kids are shy and some kids are scared of what's going to happen to them if they deal with bullies.
No, but the mentors, that is a good idea, because you see, if the mentors can be the cool kids and the cool kids and the mentors rolled into one, then that'll set the standard for the behaviour.
Do you know what I think though, everyone?
Here we go. Here's our refreshing moment. Is there going to be an aha?
Maybe for some of the school kids out there that watch, I think that quite often the popular kids are the bullies. And I think that they are the popular kids because they bully people into it, and a lot of the kids are scared to stand up to them, and so they just hang around them because they don't want to be the subject of their bullying. I think that happens a lot.
Life changes when you finish school.
And I think sometimes a lot of the times the popular kids, which, you know, as a kid you want to be a popular kid, you know, you want to be the one that everyone likes, but a lot of those kids, now this is really generalising, so if you are one of those popular kids and you're not a bully and all that, then ignore, but quite a lot of them get into trouble with drugs and different things because they feel they've got to be cool. There's a lot of pressure on a popular kid to remain in that popular position, and sometimes they think drugs and bullying is going to do that.
Let's go to the
It's the same as you were saying in business. Sometimes very successful businessmen have got to that place because they are bullies and because people are scared of them. They have not always achieved that position because they are just gorgeous and lovely and kind and well-deserved.
I've seen it firsthand.
Me too.
I've seen it firsthand.
And he shall remain nameless. Okay. My question for you, Megan and Paul, from Emma. She got seriously bullied for making YouTube videos.
Ta-da!
So she deleted them all, 240 videos.
Put them all back up.
I hope you kept them. I want to keep making them, but I'm afraid I'll get bullied again. You know what? Here's the deal. YouTube, you do have to get a thick skin because I still get crap on mine too. Like, you really can't stop it. And there are going to be people, look, if you get, I haven't seen your video, so I don't know, but let's say you want to make a video singing. Let's say if I wanted to make a video singing, I know that I am no Lucy Durack or, you know, Carly Simon or anything. So if I put a video up there, I know. But there are some people out there who do singing videos or acting videos or things where maybe they're not quite as good, and maybe they feel, maybe the people out there feel like it is their duty, I don't know why, to tell you like an Australian Idol judge or something. So putting yourself out there and asking for critiquing on something that you feel you're good at is putting it out there. But you do have to get a thick skin. If that is your passion and that's what you love, then don't listen to a block and delete them.
So if you were doing videos about your political persuasion, then about 50% of the people are going to hate your videos.
People hate my videos too.
And about 50% of the people will love them because that's the rough split of the two major parties here in Australia. So when Julia Gillard, or Gillard...
Yeah, come on.
Well, great accent, wasn't it? When she goes out and has her public appearances, there would be people picketing, yelling, screaming and being revolting, and a bit less than half of them. And the other half would love her. So when you make your videos, you've got to...
thing for that.
Yeah, well, when you make your videos, got to understand if it's something political like that, you're going to get a lot of
if you
hate.
say something controversial, like I made one once about a taxi driver. And all I said was how they should have known where they were going. There was no talk of race or anything like that. And I am telling you, people going, that was so racial. I'm like, I didn't even say what race they were. It was so bizarre. It was hilarious. In fact, I don't even remember. Paul's turning this off. And now it's back on. So anyway, I don't make controversial videos like that anymore because I don't like the energy I receive back from them. I like to look, and every time I make a video, I always get like 1 or 2 dislikes. And as I said, I'm pretty aware of who they are. But
put all your videos.
Do you know what? When they do that dislike,
take all the negative comments.
I still earn revenue from them watching my video for like even 5 seconds.
Yes.
So keep it coming, baby. They wouldn't even get that far. They'd just probably go back and dislike. Okay, Emma. So it's up to you. You've got to get a thick skin on YouTube a little bit. I didn't see your videos, but I would like to think that you would still be able to do them. And if someone's mean to you, you just block and delete them. Don't answer them back and just block and delete, because the minute you engage in an argument with them, you are getting them to keep going.
You're buying into that bad energy.
Because a lot of those people that leave comments for you and say, oh, you're a bad singer or whatever, they then go on to the next person and go, you're a bad singer or whatever. You are so far removed from them. They are just trolls on the internet who just do that all the time. And they will not remember you unless you engage back again.
What's the next one?
Don't you agree?
Yeah, what's the next one?
So put them up and link me to it. I want to see it. Lauren said, Lauren just said Emma should keep making videos. That's true. And Karen said keep making them. Oh, look, I've had moments too when I went through it, when I first started and some of my friends were revolting about it. I seriously wondered whether I should keep going too. But you know what?
Friends.
Yes, friends. But you know what? Thank God I didn't. Because there's always going to be naysayers who want to put you off. You know, the great people will make you feel that you too can become great. They won't put you down. But, you know, you should shine. Everyone should shine in some way. Melissa said, there's a saying out there, people are not their behaviours. When a bully engages in hurtful behaviours and actions towards others, we need to focus on rehabilitating that person and letting them know they are not necessarily a bad person. That's true. We need to find ways of improving the self-esteem and self-confidence of the bully so that they can find the rewards they so desperately seek. Exactly, but how do you do that? I'm really interested to get some feedback back, and if you would like to make video responses to this video, I'd be really interested to watch them. Don't make them all an hour long because that would be like we wouldn't be able to do it. But if you make a short video response, I'd really be interested. I'll set this video so that you can automatically upload a video response. Todd said the Grand Prix is in Melbourne. He noticed that we've been to a lot of events this week, which we have, but none of them Grand Prix. Well, we did last night. We went to a Britain one, but we're not really into the Grand Prix.
Great Britain campaign. That was nice.
Yeah, and, I met Damon Hill, the guy who won the Grand Prix in 1996, and I met him 17 years ago. And I took a photo again. I had a chat to him. Yeah,
he's aged well. Just a bit more grey hair. But haven't we all?
But look, when we were watching the Grand Prix last night on the TV, I saw all these boxes and things where you can sit and drink champagne and have fun and chat. You don't have to watch the cars the whole time. Now, that would appeal to me. But watching a car go like that and then you're stuck there waiting for it to come back again, that doesn't interest me.
Anyway.
Does it interest you?
No. See you guys.
Bye everybody, thanks for watching. Hope it wasn't too long. Here comes a couple of little videos from the week. Bye. So it's Grand Prix week here in Melbourne. Paul is in a simulated car. We're at the casino, and this is, so that's the actual track, I think, at the Albert Park. We've had a good night, haven't we? We went to an Italian restaurant and we bumped into all these people that we knew, didn't we?
We did, and we went in and out 3 times tonight.
It was so much fun. I don't even know if I'm in the light or not.